He's been behind bars for 37 years, his family says, for a crime he didn't commit. Congressional leaders want to halt Texas's reopening, and is Kanye's presidential run for real? The story's coming up. Hi, I'm ReShonda Tate Billingsley with your weekly Defender News Wrap, where we bring you the biggest news stories from the Black community. The family of a Houston man who has been behind bars for 37 years with no evidence that he's guilty of the crime he's accused of is hoping to draw attention to the plight of Darius Elam. Joined by Tammy Lane Campbell, founder of the Honey Brown Hope Foundation, the family is hoping for release and exoneration of Elam, a former Texas Southern University student who was sentenced to life in prison for aggravated robbery. It was in 1983 when Darius gave a co-worker, Clarence Richardson, a ride home. They stopped at the Galleria where Richardson used an altered credit card of a man who had been fatally shot. Darius was charged with credit card fraud and received an additional murder charge based on testimonies from jailed informants and a reported fingerprint on a sheet of paper. It's a fascinating case, and you can read all about it at DefenderNetwork.com. Some Texas congressional reps are urging Governor Greg Abbott to rewind reopening efforts in Texas. Sheila Jackson Lee and Joaquin Castro argued that Texas's decision to reopen was based on calls from the Trump administration and not based on science. The lawmakers said Texas should allow the local authorities to do what is in the best interest of their communities. New cases of COVID-19 are spiking in Texas, with the state now consistently passing 10,000 new cases a day. Thousands of Texas prisoners are stuck in limbo, approved for parole, yet still sitting inside disease-prone lockups as the coronavirus rages across the state. Many have been waiting 6 months or longer for release. During that time, Texas has seen more prisoners die with the virus than any other state prison in America. They've been told they're still behind bars because there's nowhere to send them. In May, more than 15,000 Texas prisoners had been approved for parole but were not yet released. That's about 12% of the state prison population. Kim Kardashian is asking the public for sympathy as her husband goes on a rant during his questionable presidential run. At a recent campaign rally, Kanye ranted against historical figure Harriet Tubman, saying she never actually freed the slaves, she just had them work for other white people. He also delivered a lengthy monologue touching on topics from abortion and religion to trade and licensing deals before a crowd in South Carolina. Wearing a protective vest and with 2020 shaved into his head, the entertainer appeared on a live stream of the event. The rally and Kanye's subsequent Twitter rants about how his family was trying to lock him up prompted Kim Kardashian to remind people that Kanye has bipolar disorder, and she asked to be understanding of his behavior. It may be a minute before we're able to get back into events full force, but there are lots of things to do virtually. Let us know about your virtual event so we can tell others. Email events@DefenderNetwork.com. It's a wrap. Make sure you're following us at Defender Network on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And join us here next week for all your Defender highlights.